Welcome back to Living Local Friends and the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. The man to my right was a close personal working friend when I did sketch comedy. And I'm very nervous because the times that you've appeared on television, we've not been very kind to the hosts. You can ask, I guess, my competitor, Dustin Lukey, doesn't really always appreciate when we're on television. But here he is today because he wrote a book. So you went from... How is it writing truth as opposed to stupid, dumb jokes?
It's hard to resist the temptation to write stupid, dumb jokes because we did it for so long. But I think with that in mind, the challenge has been not Hollywooding, bravehearting it, where it is a true story. You want to stay true to the story, but it doesn't. The great thing about this story is it doesn't need any of that. It doesn't need to be told in a way that's hyperbolized. It's just a very interesting, cool story from start to finish. There's 12 really cool narrative arcs, and I'm excited to tell it.
And just to catch everybody up to speed, again, like you're not in my head, I understand that. Until the Last Out is what the book is called. It's not out yet. We're hoping to get it out eventually. And it's about the DeSoto High School baseball team from the year 2000 who won the state championship. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And from that team, not only a very gifted writer came out of it, because, you know, baseball teams are known for their writers, some really incredible athletes, not only Coach Milt, but incredible athletes. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, our leadoff batter is a guy named Brian Roble. And, you know, he became a professional football player. He was picked up by the Seattle Seahawks and later joined the Green Bay Packers. At one point with the Packers, there's a great picture of him with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and him on the sidelines. It's like one of my favorite pictures. He now runs the Forty Hotel in Viroqua, but he ended up playing in NFL Europe for a while after that. And then our number two hitter, center fielder, Tom Venner, went to Madison to try out for the Badgers the year after they won the Super Bowl and ended up playing at Platteville as a two-sport athlete in wrestling and football. And then myself, I played baseball at UW Lacrosse. We had another guy, Josh Schultz, through the first pitch of the first Loggers game. He's the first starter. Another guy, Brad Pauljude, was a two-sport athlete at Luther College and pitched and hit there. So there's a lot of athletes who went on to bigger things. But I think what the book shows is it's not like, well, of course they won. They have a whole bunch of athletes. What I want to really point out is that I firmly believe that the success of these athletes was created by this season and helped fostered by this amazing coach. Not to say they wouldn't have gone on to do great things, but I think all of them would agree that part of their success had to do with that season and the coach helping them.
Yeah, I told you he's a very intelligent man because you built into where I was going next. It seems like all of these incredible teenage athletes, which I don't care how incredible they are, they're still teenagers, kind of coalesce around this incredible human being. Talk about your love of Milt a little bit.
Oh my gosh. What's wild is 25 years later, I still talk about him, think about him in this reverential kind of way, but I only played for him for 3 months. I didn't play football in high school. He only coached for one season of high school baseball. And in that one season, we won undefeated, won a state championship, which is wild in and of itself. But what makes Milt great as a coach isn't his ability to find the right lineup or, you know, stats or focus on wins. He focuses on people and getting people in the right place so they can be the best example of themselves, the best form of themselves. And with that, the winning and the stats become a byproduct of him focusing on these players and just our well-being. Knowing that about him, he still now cares for us and talks to us as a coach. Even though he's in this place with the Packers as the director of player personnel, he's one step away from being a GM. When I talk to him, I still talk to him as my coach.
How do you go from coaching baseball for one season, football at DeSoto, to head of player personnel with the Green Bay Packers?
Well, you know, when he came to DeSoto, he was a brand new teacher, 23 years old, took over the football program. The football program at DeSoto had a great history. The 70s and early 80s, they were the dominant force, undefeated seasons and state championships. And then somewhere between the early 80s and the mid 90s, it just kind of fledgled. You know, they stayed with the wishbone offense longer than they should have. And eventually it needed resurrecting, and they brought in Milt, and he revamped this program and did an amazing job. 2 years in a row, they were one game away from state. And then at some point, he gets a call from the Luther College athletic director, where he went to college, saying, "Wow, it looks like everything you're touching is turning to gold, Milt. We would love to have you come back to Luther and coach." And he said, I still have some unfinished business here, because when he was in high school, he was 1 game from state in baseball 2 times. And then in football coaching, he was 1 game from state 2 times. And the baseball coach had just retired because he wanted to watch his daughter play softball. And he kind of was like, I know baseball, let's give this a shot for once. And he had this nice group of seniors. And in that one season, they went undefeated. And it finally was like that, the monkey off of his back feeling. And then he ended up accepting a job with Luther College as an assistant baseball and football coach. From there, again, they had some extraordinary success in a couple of years he was there, and then accepted a job with the Baltimore Ravens, I believe in a recruiting capacity, and was part of developing the roster that ended up winning the Super Bowl in, I want to say 2012, 2013-ish.
Sure, yeah. I'll tell you what, if that's wrong, we'll just overdub with your voice. Like, correct yours.
You can use your voice.
Perfect.
Make it cartoony.
Excellent. Yeah. We'll do like the old Crash Craddock. So it sounds, I love how you pointed out that he paid attention to the person, the net, spawned the stats and whatnot, because that kind of fits into what his job is now. Like, it doesn't matter what team you're on. I love when people watch professional athletes and say, that guy sucks because he's the best athlete you would have ever been around. So now we've got Milt's literally in a position to do just that. Yes, he's going to perform. Does he fit? Right? What's the top thing that coach taught you that you still carry today?
You know, that's the part of writing this book was trying to discover that. 25 years later, I'm trying to figure out what was it about this guy that made him so special. I played for some great coaches. The baseball coach before him was fantastic, won several conference championships, but there was something very special and unique about Milt that put him to this point. The one thing I've really focused on is that he is so good with understanding people instead of just focusing on the athlete or the sport, the person. And I find myself now that once my daughters got into athletics, specifically my younger daughter, Layla, became a softball player, there were several times, where softball and baseball is such a failure-based sport. And I'd ask myself, okay, what would Coach Milt say to her right now? As opposed to like, what drill does she need to work on to fix this hitch in her swing, or what ground ball skill? It's what would Coach Milt say to get her mindset in the right way? And I think that is what I learned in this book, is that Milt has this ability to help you problem solve yourself, coach yourself through like an empowerment and understanding of the sport, and having confidence in you that you know enough about yourself to know that you can make the corrections you need. But sometimes you need that person to bolster that confidence in you.
Wow. Big league bat, little league arm. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Very apt. Big league brain, big league heart as well. He is Nick Peterson. The book is called Until the Last Out. Where can we find the buzz about it? Right.
Well, right now I'm setting up, we're in the early stages of the social media platforms. I have a Facebook page and an Instagram account, both Until the Last Out. Through that, I'm hoping to just bolster some interest in the book and the story and the characters, specifically not to spoil the story. I mean, we know that it's an undefeated season, but within this book, there are 12 very interesting narrative arcs, each player. And obviously Coach Milt's coaching style and method is really what the payoff is. So I'm hoping that the socials and some of the videos and information I'm posting will help boost the interest and get to know these players and people a little bit. So when you do get the book, which does finally get to in a publisher's hands and finds a home, that reading the book will feel like a very validating experience.
There you go, friends. Find him on the socials. That's the Insta, the Facebooks, all the things you little kids do. I know it's been really engaging. I love the baseball cards that you've been doing, and getting to go talk to Coach Milt was really special too.
It really was.
This has been the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. He is Nick Peterson. He is very special to me, and he will be to you very soon. We'll be back with more. This is Living Local.